Album Concept Hour. It's the Album Concept Hour.
All right, welcome everybody to the Album Concept Hour. It's another Halloween episode, and this time we're getting deep into the depths of novelty Halloween music. I'm talking the most niche Halloween stuff you've ever heard. Hold on, oh crap, that's right. Well, I mean, I know this is one of them, but like, hold on one second. Let me change this. 1 second.
There you go.
There we go. Hold on. There. Wait, hold on. There. Where is it? There we go. Hold on. All right. Yeah. So as I was saying, we're gonna get into yeah, that's more like it. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna get into some of the nicher, music from Halloween that you may never have heard, but you're gonna want to add to your Halloween playlists because we've gone and discovered some of the strangest Halloween novelty songs that we could find. The what you just heard a little bit of was what we're kind of basing this list from. It is Hot Blood's Soul Dracula, the album. Soul Dracula.
That was pretty good.
Yeah. So we'll hear a little bit more of that in a minute. I'm your host, Brad the Baron. We have Dave over there. What's going on, Dave?
Yo.
And what's going on, John?
Oh, just ready for some scary stuff.
Ready to get real scared in this episode.
Ready to get haunted.
Yeah. There's, already, I started getting, goosebumps just hearing This Is Halloween.
There's a lot of ghosts of Halloween past.
Yeah. So, we're that was Danny Elfman's This Is Halloween, of course, but we're here for a little more lesser thought about Halloween tracks for you guys. But this started with Dave last week brought up this album called this kooky album, Hot Blood's Soul Dracula. This is loosely the concept is that album. But we really enjoyed the kooky like videos that we could find for it, and it was just a lot of fun. And I decided, you know what, this album's too short. There's just not enough of the cool.
You want to cram some more in there.
Halloween.
So we're gonna do our own best of.
And we're gonna do our own best of, and we have a little bit of input from our good friend Andy Merrill, aka Brack. We got a few tracks in here from him. And I'll let you know when we get there, but you'll probably be able to tell which ones are from Brack. Another one, and also I definitely have to at the top of this episode give a shout out to this article that I found that really helped me make my list. It's the best. They did 15 as well. The 15 best Halloween novelty tunes you didn't know existed from bungillplace.com. So. I'll put a link to that in the description. There's even more cool tracks that I didn't include from this list, but a little history of Halloween novelty tunes. Though it goes back probably to the 40s, I think, is when it kind of became a thing that people did, where they would just, the Monster Mash is the most famous example of this, of course.
I can't believe this isn't on the list.
I know. It's on the list in spirit.
Okay.
I feel like the Monster Mash kind of runs through all of the songs on this list in a way.
Everyone knows the Monster Mash.
Yeah. And for me, it is also, I can't separate the Monster Mash from the Monster...
Graveyard Smash?
No. From the Monster Fuck from Comedy Bang Bang, which is a very, very grotesque and perverted version of it. Everyone should look it up.
Sounds like it.
It's so good. He
Reminds
does the
me of
same
a Mr.
joke every year.
But we'll get past that.
Yeah. So we have a lot of strange tunes here, and I'm really excited to get to them. I'm also going to put a link to our playlist in the description because a lot of this is visual too. So there's a lot of interesting music videos connected to some of these tracks. So I don't know. Without further ado, I think we should just break into it.
Jump
right?
in.
Yeah. There's no guest to learn their life story about. We're just gonna dive into Hot Blood, Soul Dracula from 1977.
Soul Dracula.
Now I know what you're thinking out there. Why haven't I heard this song sooner?
Of course, everyone needs this in their life.
Yeah,
Everyone needs some disco Dracula.
Yeah. This was a pleasant surprise last week when you showed me this. It's got an insane music video with it's a Dracula that looks like he's kind of like having a seizure or something. Like he's having an episode the entire time, just shaking around. And I do kind of remember like different Dracula characters doing that back then, but I don't remember why.
The shaky Dracula?
Yeah, it's like
maybe it's low on blood.
Yeah, maybe. His
blood sugars.
The anemia part of that whole thing. Yeah. But he looks hilarious. He looks silly as hell. This video was just so batshit. Yeah, it's the reason we're here. I also noticed so the guy kind of looks like Davy Jones a little bit. He's got a little bit of a Davy Jones kind of look to him. But anyway, there's a whole album of this. Like I think it's only like 6 or 7 tracks. We've grabbed a few of them for this listen through, and there's several live performances.
Yes,
of this,
which we've all found surprisingly last week. Like
yeah. We went down.
I was expecting to try to find this in audio, but we found like performance and like them playing live and like Spanish TV or like just random places. Like it just kept going. Like
it definitely had a moment like in the spotlight.
That hot minute.
Yeah. And I don't know how it got lost in the shuffle of all the rest of everything. Also, I couldn't find a whole lot about the group. Because I believe it's just this album that they did, and it's like
that. Like there's a few like singles, but they all kind of came right. I don't know if they did the singles first and they made the album or what. I really couldn't find a lot of information on how this all came about.
There's surprisingly little information about this. Let me just grab the Discogs for it, because Discogs will probably have the most information. So yeah, France is where it's from. Okay, so that's who we have to thank for this this instant classic, written by Larry Melwing, Mae Ambrewster, and Penny Duck. So
geniuses.
If you have run into this song before, let us know. We'd love to hear your
that's
story.
Impressive.
Because it's cool. It's a fun track. Yeah, we're gonna have a couple more from that album though. The next track we have for you though is this one's going like way back to kind of what I was talking about. There's novelty songs in the 40s, 50s, 60s, blah blah blah. This is one of the early examples of a really great novelty,
theatrical,
very theatrical. It's by a guy by the name of Screamin' Jay Hawkins, and he's one of the kind of progenitors of like shock rock and like horror stuff on stage. So here is a little bit of a song that I think you guys are going to recognize.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine.
Oh, that's just a classic.
Yeah.
Because you're mine.
So I got here a little late before. I think you already played this, but I'm not sure what you watch. I know he had performances where he like you start the concert. I believe like you slowly like rise out of like a coffin on stage, like all dressed up.
This one he came from like stage left or stage right or whatever, and he had like the voodoo makeup with the bone in his nose and like the outfit and the big stick with the skull on it. And it was mostly just him. It wasn't like a crowd or anything. So I think it's the like I don't know, must be some European video because I think it was banned in the States for a minute there.
That checks out.
Because of the voodoo stuff. Apparently it was too risque for
too
some,
much to handle
for some people. Even
the
though
kids will get into voodoo, we can't have that.
Yeah, we can't have voodoo happening.
Right.
And especially in such a beautiful song that's like a hit, But yeah, you can watch the video. It's pretty wild. He's he's in full voodoo mode. Like I don't know how like PC it is of a representation these days or whatever, but definitely cutting edge at the time. Because there was a weird fascination with voodoo for a couple decades too. Like I remember that being in like Scooby-Doo a lot.
Oh, for sure.
Just and I tried
50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, I tried to like look into it, and I don't see, like I couldn't see like a specific thing that was like, the core of the fascination with voodoo. So I'm not really sure why people were so into that for a minute or so, but apparently there's some voodoo happening in New Orleans that we're going to find out later, about. But yeah, again, so shock rock, that would be like Alice Cooper, like maybe Twisted Sister would be considered shock. Well, no, that's more hair metal. I'm trying to think of other examples of shock rock.
Maybe Wasp.
Yeah, maybe Wasp. Yeah. Any rock group whose kind of whole stage performance
Shtick
is to either
Gwar
upset you or evoke something. Gwar is absolutely a shock rock. But I had no idea this was the what the original was like. I've never heard this version before today. I feel dumb for not having heard it before now. But like,
there's a lot of songs
it's
that exist.
Definitely much spookier and much deeper than like some of the other versions of it.
Well, yeah, like from the first frame of the video, I was like,
intense.
Excuse me. What are you wearing? Please tell me that this is actually a black man and not a white man in blackface, because this is going to be very uncomfortable.
That only happened in the 80s. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That happened a lot more before.
Yeah. That only happens in Canada.
I've been watching the history of sitcoms, so like that.
Actually, is there like a whole episode about blackface?
Oh, they're like there's a whole episode on like stuff like that.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Oh yeah. Definitely plenty of examples.
Was a lot of blackface, but that's beyond the point. Anyway.
Well, yeah. I was gonna say I remember them being canceled before canceling was a thing.
Yeah.
So it must have been pretty raunchy.
Kind of why. Anyways.
But yeah, I Put a Spell on You. It's one of the classic rock songs that like everyone knows. I had no idea it was a horror kind of themed thing, and I was pleasantly surprised by this version. It was very cool. This is 1956 for this song. I think it's the earliest one on our list. The 50s especially was like a big time for it. Here we have one that's a little bit later, but still in the same kind of vein. This is Round Robin, I'm the Wolfman.
I just ride around hollering at the moon above. Tonight I'm coming after your sweet love. I'm the Wolfman. I'm the Wolfman, baby. And if you see me on the prowl, watch it when you hear me growl.
I love the yelling in that track.
I feel like it's very upbeat Wolfman, like the Warren Zevon. Like, man, his hair was perfect.
Yeah,
just imagine this guy strolling down the street.
Yeah,
and this music just bopping behind him.
In his suit.
I think this was the same Wolfman that was on like Midnight Special. I'm not mistaken.
Could be. I don't know.
Could be wrong. I
this
could be
is
wrong about that.
well, because there's also there's like Wolfman, like shit. There's another.
Okay.
There's another.
I could be wrong.
There's a person who's got a name that's similar to that. Something
Right.
Wolfman something.
He sounds like that though.
Mhm.
That's for sure.
Well, yeah, he's
Maybe that's where
he's
you're
definitely
definitely-
evoking that. This
Right.
is written by Baker Knight. And one thing I thought about this track is like this feels like something that would be in a Tarantino film, probably. Like, while someone's being murdered or something,
Attacked or something's happening.
Yeah. You think everything's fine, but then like middle of the song, like it just turns violent for no reason.
Like Bruce Willis coming into a room with a big sword.
I'm a wolf man, baby. Just chopping people up. Yeah, it'd be sick. Wolfman, that's one of the classic universal monsters or whatever. The main like for
I mean Marvel just did Werewolf by Night,
That's true. But
a year ago, but still.
we got the classics would be like Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, and
The Mummy.
I don't know if the Mummy comes up in this playlist.
We didn't get
but
the Mummy. In the
the Mummy's a big one.
There's like the creature from the Black Lagoon has sort of been
the Blob was
famous.
the Blob was a runner up. There's a theme song for the Blob. But there's like there was all those like specific ones that were repeated over and over again back then. It's like they weren't allowed to make new
horror creatures.
They like reached their limit. And they're like, no, we need to recycle what we got.
I mean, they got shuffled with like everyone. Like
Yeah. Everyone had their take on these characters. Anyway, speaking of characters, this next track is all about a very specific character. This is probably the most like I don't know what to even say about this track, but this is a little bit of Ted Cassidy, The Lurch. From 1965. The last one was also from 1965, but here is The Lurch.
Oh yeah.
It's a brand new bag. Don't just stand there.
This is the one with the Frankenstein character from the Addams Family, right?
yeah, it's Lurch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I never thought of he is a kind of a Frankenstein character.
Is that his name, Lurch?
Yeah.
Lurch? Yeah.
Oh my
Lurch.
God! Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, he is.
He's like the servant, the driver. He does like all.
He is.
I'm glad you got something from the Addams Family in this.
Yeah. He is my favorite character from the Addams Family.
He's definitely
I mean, it was
one of the
going to be
best ones.
this, or it was going to be the MC Hammer, the Adam Family songs.
Oh, right. That's right. I forgot
Gotta
that
have
existed.
something from the Addams Family.
Yeah.
The biggest Halloween family
Yeah.
in modern times, modern television.
MC
modern
Hammer knew
movies.
that.
Yeah. He knew, I mean, MC Hammer was making moves back
Oh yeah,
then.
Right.
side to side.
Yeah, so literally just these ones. Yeah.
But no, the video is priceless.
Yeah,
like all the the women dancers, everyone's like super happy, and everyone's and he's
Everyone's
just standing there
so
like
excited to see Lurch. Hey, what's up, guys?
and then he slowly does the Lurch dance.
Yeah. Like this one felt like almost like a TikTok sensation of some kind,
Right.
but from the 50s. It was very strange. I was like, what is happening? And like, it's just a very simple, like you just lean down and kind of swing your hands back and forth. You lurch forward and yeah.
It was the craze of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing
Someone
the
really needs to bring this one back. And I mean, they should bring it back for the next season of Wednesday, maybe.
Oh, there we go.
I thought when looking at this guy was the guy that played Jaws, but he's not.
No.
He's not. He looks a lot like the guy that played Jaws.
The Bond villain, not the shark.
Yes. Yeah. The shark is a different guy. He was in
Completely
SNL
different guy.
once.
Yep.
Yeah. He got a chance to play the land shark.
He did.
Yeah. It's One other credit.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, the shark from Jaws. It's one other credit. But this one, definitely watch the video for this one. This one's fun. I don't have too much nostalgia for the Addams Family other than just I remember just mostly I remember him.
Well, you gotta have nostalgia for the actual song,
the snap.
Oh yeah. That's true. That does slap. That does slap.
Yeah.
One day we'll do the popular Halloween themes.
Or just great theme songs.
Or just great theme songs. Yeah.
There's at least 15 out there.
We could definitely do that.
Yeah.
Could have Cheers in there.
Well, yeah, of course.
Anyways,
that's where everyone knows your name.
Right.
But yeah, this next track we got for you guys is another one from the 50s. This is from 1958. And interesting story before we get to this track. So this is Alvin and the Chipmunks / David Seville.
Yes.
Witch Doctor. And this song is actually part of the origin of Alvin and the Chipmunks. So we'll tell you about that after the clip.
I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. And then the witch doctor, he told me what to do. He said that... Very good, boys. I told the witch doctor...
Yeah. This one I obviously knew.
So hard.
Yeah, I definitely knew this, but I just didn't know it was called The Witch Doctor. I didn't know that part of the track.
Well, everybody calls it the ooh ee ooh ah ah song,
Yeah, I think that's the only part of it I was interested in when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think
Put a sing along.
Yeah. I absolutely didn't know the rest of the lyrics, but so this is part of the origin of the Chipmunks, Alvin and the Chipmunks as we know it, because
I did not know that, by the way.
Well, yeah, he bought a $200 tape recorder, and he recorded this song and was playing around with speeding up the vocals and different pitches, and then
I did know that's how he developed the Chipmunks, by doing that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did not know this song was part of it, though.
Well, then 2 songs later, he had the hit with the Christmas song, and then through this process, they created the characters of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Right.
Elvin, Simon, and Theodore.
Yeah, which now it makes a lot more sense why they're all always involved in music in the show and stuff.
They're musically talented.
Well, yeah. David Seville definitely came first.
Yeah, I always wondered why is music a part of this cartoon?
Well, why not?
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Well, because the music did come first.
And
the song came before the show.
Yeah, and I never knew that part, so it makes a lot more sense.
If Chipmunks can play music, the Turtles can definitely learn ninja moves and use weapons.
Absolutely,
they did open the door for future animals that could.
And all the 70s stuff, too.
Danger Mouse.
The
bear.
Yogi Bear?
No. There's the Bear Bunch or something.
Oh, a Hair Bear Bunch?
Hair Bear Bunch, yeah.
They lived in a zoo and rode an invisible motorcycle.
Yeah. Did you say Care Bear Bunch?
No, Hair Bear Bunch.
I'm not familiar.
They were
with
a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
Oh, interesting.
They did a little bit of music, too.
Were they competing with the Care Bears?
No. Care Bears were from the 80s. These guys were in the 70s.
So they
didn't care about the Care Bears.
The Care Bears ripped off the Hair Bears.
That's a possibility, I guess. That's something to consider.
I was get my stepsister loves Care Bears. I should get her a Hair Bear one day, and she'll be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Also, where the fuck did you find this?
Where the fuck did you find this? Why is this happening?
Anyways, yeah, this was a great tune.
Yeah. So Alvin and the Chipmunks Origins. And the next couple of tracks we got for you guys are very special. We have some suggestions from Andy Merrill, aka Brack. I hit him up on Twitter, and he gave me a few really cool, niche novelty tracks.
Some fun tunes.
Yeah. So, and I'll put a link to his Halloween playlist in the description. He sent me a link to 100 or more novelty Halloween songs. So. Yeah, this first track of the tracks we got from Breck, Andy Merrill. Sorry, I'm trying to call him his real name more. Is
he is our friend Andy Merrill.
Yeah, friend of the show. He's we hang out constantly. Me, him, and Ron Mosserman.
Right.
But this is from a very weird situation. I'll let the music speak for itself first, and then we'll talk about why this happened. 1969 is when this comes out. So that was the Shags. It's Halloween.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts about the Shags? It's Halloween.
I mean, I definitely get why it's called the Shags.
Yeah.
I know.
Wait, why is it called the Shags?
The very 60s sound, very 60s name.
Okay.
I know you're going to refresh my memory, but I do remember watching a documentary or a story behind this, but I completely forgot. But please enlighten everyone.
So this is a band. Let me take you back. Yeah, I have to go back actually several generations for this story. The sisters that created this were actually the daughters of this one dude whose mother had a vision. Basically, she had a premonition about him and his children and their future. So
oh my God.
Their grandmother had, foresaw that he would marry someone that was strawberry blonde, and they would have 2 boys and then 2 girls, and that those girls would grow up to be musical prodigies and make amazing stuff, and that she would die
voodoo stuff's real.
before he met before all this started happening. And so basically he met the strawberry blonde woman. They had 2 boys and then 2 girls. And then because of the prophecy, he took his girls out of school and forced them to play music because he wanted to fulfill this prophecy from his
self-fulfilled
from his mother. So they like the first couple of shows, they got like booed and stuff thrown at them. Like they didn't do it for too long before they kind of went their own way and did things. Some of them did return back to music, but like it was definitely one of those things where like they never knew how to play music, and just this is just the raw, like untrained, just pouring out of a song. And
it's definitely what it sounds like.
Yeah, which definitely, like, with that context is like, oh, they're not doing a bit necessarily.
The lowest of highs.
Actually,
like just doing what they could.
Yeah, like when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is funny. They're like, pretending to be really shitty at music. I was like, I thought that was the bit. But like, it's really like, oh no, they were forced to play music before and go on stage before anyone should be on stage musically, But yeah, it's created though a kind of cult following. There's a lot of people from Zappa to Andy Merrill to Neutral Milk Hotel. One of them opened for Neutral Milk Hotel in there with a group that they're doing stuff with now. And Kurt Cobain actually cited this album that this came from as his favorite album.
Right there.
Yeah.
That is a self-fulfilling prophecy then.
So I mean, that's the thing. It does weirdly eventually fulfill the prophecy in a way, but like not the way they thought. It was a real monkey's paw.
That's prophecies,
real monkey's paw situation.
Never and all fingers at one time is a big wish.
Yeah.
Everyone,
like, oh, well, they're gonna play music, but yeah, there was only like 100 records that went out for it. Like it was really like limited supply because it didn't sell very well, so it kind of got passed around different circles of novelty people. Like Weird Al probably had a copy of this at some point.
I bet he did.
Really fun story. I loved the story for this particular track and group. I was like, I watched. There's a good YouTube video about it. I'll try to put in the description. It's just so funny to me that he would be like, well, she's right about everything else. I mean, they can't fail. Like, it's such a weird thing to do.
It reminded me, there's a Mr. Show skit where a guy was trying to he's raising his family just to be his background. He was like a conductor, just to have a band.
Okay.
And they're all, I think, he opens the door. I think they're all hitting drums. They're all percussionists. And he has a line. He's like, "You will give me a woodwinner." He wants his band to be bigger. Yeah. So every child has to have like a purpose in this band.
Oh, right.
So it's like grooming, just like the same thing. He's like, I will have a band. You will give me musicians.
Yeah, that's awesome. Trying to force what was that band? The Osbournes, right? Wasn't the Osbournes original Osbournes a family that
they were
made music together on the road? I have vague memories at best of that situation. The Shags, It's Halloween.
It's always the Jackson
It's a classic.
5, you know?
And then we got the Del Rubio triplets, Legends in the game. This is from 1989, a 1989 music video performance of Ding Dong, The Witch is Dead.
The witch is dead, 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 the witch is dead. I've got great plans for Halloween, and I got my brew already, and it's filled with poison, all made for you.
I will never forget seeing them on the they were on the Golden Girls and
Golden Girls,
the oldest one, not the youngest one in reality.
Right.
What's her name?
Betty
What's her name?
White?
No. In the show. Oh my God, I'm gonna hit myself for this later. Like
the glasses.
B. Arthur's mother in the show. Yeah. But they were doing like a talent show. Girls. They were doing like a talent show, and like she brought those three women on to like sing a song, and it was just the funniest thing.
Well, yeah,
you know, and like as soon as I saw this, and as soon as I saw this, I was like, "That's where I've seen this."
For like the '80s, they're like, I swear they're like on almost every sitcom. Like they like one episode or another. Like they
apparently
made their way around like
they did stuff in the 60s and 70s, but apparently like someone like got interest in them in the 80s again, and then then they became like you were saying, an everyday thing. One really interesting thing about them, which I think is really kind of badass, they all decided to never get married because they didn't want to break up the act
or change the name
change the name. You know, they didn't want anything to happen to it, so they like that was their dedication to their group, and like they one by one, they fell ill and passed, but like they like lived together and stayed together like their whole lives, like just doing this stuff, which is
good for them.
Pretty cool. Yeah. It's more than a lot of us can, say for, doing our passions or whatever. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. The music video is really funny.
Oh my God.
Very, like all the effects are very 80s.
It just screams Adult Swim.
Very, yes. It does seem like something that they would make, unironically.
Like the first few years when it came around, like that's what it felt like.
Yeah, and you can and tell me, people out there, if you want Brack to do a cover of this. He says that he doesn't think he could do it justice. I think that this song would be perfect for a Brack cover. But
he'd nail it.
Yeah. Tweet at Andy Merrill before they make you start paying for that shit. But
is it still tweets? If it's as an X, or do they change that? Do they call it something else?
It's tweets. I don't.
Is it still tweets?
I don't know what the fuck they want. I'm not going to call it anything else. I mean, I'm going to call it tweets until they start to charge me, and then I'm just going to call it.
Send one more tweet.
And then it's going to be my ex because I'm not going to use it anymore. That's really what it's going to become.
Burn.
Yeah, yeah. Burn, Elon Musk. You're burnt.
You're burnt, son.
Milan Husk. You're burnt.
All right. What we got next?
So after that, those are the 2 Brack songs we got for you guys. And then before we take you off to our break, we got another track from Hot Blood's Soul Dracula. And this one is, oh man, it's getting a little hot in here. This one's kind of sensual. Here's Sex Me.
Sex me, sex me, satisfaction. Sex me, sex me, real satisfaction. Sex me, sex me, sex me.
If this would be in any like Halloween or like vampire movie, I would swear I can't remember the name, but Leslie Nielsen did like a spoof on like I think like vampire movies. He's like a vampire, but I feel like this would fit it right in.
Yeah.
With that shtick.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so fucking weird. And those are by the way, the only lyrics in the song.
I mean, it's right up there with I think it's the Exploded with the song. It's just sex and violence, and that's all the lyrics are. It's just sex and violence repeated nonstop, but like a different like tone. It's pretty wild too. But no,
like you hear crazy. Like a whole like minute and a half before you hear that.
But it's the
so
voice.
Like you get into the vibe, and it's like, oh, this is cool. This is a great track, and then all of a sudden, sex me. Sex me. It's like, whoa.
Just imagine some creepy guy in the corner, like, yay.
Satisfaction. It's like, whoa, wow.
The one thing that everyone stops in Studio 54 and looks around like, what is this guy doing? He's weird.
This is, yeah. Someone needs to call the authorities because this guy shouldn't be here.
Stranger danger.
This guy shouldn't be out in public. We just listened to the Sex Me song. The Sex Me Satisfaction. Sex Me.
It's just that tone of that voice makes it the creepy.
Well, also, it's like sex me. It's not fuck me or like have sex with me. It's like
I'm sure that's how he got around the censors somehow.
It's a bad English it feels like a bad English translation. You know what I mean? Like something you'd see in like a novelty shop in Tokyo or something. It would just say "sex me," you know?
Right.
Balls, good time.
Balls, good time. Sex me. But yes, it's just so fucking silly. There was nothing.
Not prepared.
I mean, the song's called "Sex Me." I could have expected this, but
you still not expected.
You find that for like a Halloween song?
Oh, this is from that album,
the Disco Dracula,
Soul Dracula. Yeah.
All right,
that's part of the reason we're doing several clips from Soul Dracula because of this right here. I was like, okay, we're doing more Soul Dracula.
It's creepy Dracula just trying to like get around on the floor.
Right.
Yeah, this is probably I know Dracula's always pervy, but this is like
extra pervy.
This is like a weirdly like usually like people are on his side as far as his sexuality because they're like, oh yeah, like vampires, sexy.
Yeah.
But this is like
Tom Cruise,
like
sexy.
This is like the kind of the unsexy uncle vampire that like. He hasn't quite got the groove of.
We didn't invite him. How did he show up to this party?
Yeah, I know. Like, how did he? Who told him about this?
Right.
You want to hear my new song?
Some good looking people in this party.
Yeah. He just like comes up behind someone, and sniffs them.
Oh God, just leave me alone.
It's like, he's always coming in that fucking cape. But yeah, this I can't recommend this.
Good
song
times
enough.
with horny Dracula.
This is just a great track. Did you guys want to take a break for this one, or do you want to go on through?
We can keep trucking.
Well, let's keep trucking. We'll take a break if I need to use the restroom or something. But we got. I was gonna have that be the cue off to the break, but it's only been it hasn't been that long, so let's just keep trucking. This next track we got for you is,
and we're back.
Welcome back to the Album Concept Hour. This next track we got for you is definitely a monster of a song, if you will. This is a little bit of Edgar Winter Group's
yes,
Frankenstein, 1972.
This is just such a great jam session.
Yeah. Like
it literally is a Frankenstein of a song. Too, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's a great name.
Do you guys know why it's called Frankenstein?
I do not actually.
So this one's actually called Frankenstein because when they were cutting it down and editing it for the version for the radio or for the album or whatever,
right?
They had to take different sections of the song,
to
chop it up and make it into this Frankenstein of a song.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it evokes, Frankenstein, just the way that they're like bringing different electronic elements to life and shit. So,
right. Well, then he's doing like we were talking about earlier, like he's doing like 3 different instruments. Edgar Winter himself.
Including the synthesizer 4 actually, because I was
the piano synth, like what do you call that? The keytar,
the
keytar before it was popular.
Well, I was gonna say it wasn't even a keytar; it was just a keyboard on a strap.
See, like he might have invented the keytar.
Well, yeah, this is pre-keytar. So yeah, it's really, really just I highly recommend watching this video. This is like if you're a music fan and you haven't seen this,
it's a great jam.
It's an amazing jam. Yeah. And yeah, the version that we chose is like a more indicative of the full jam than the one from the album. So that's part of the reason I chose that. And man, their synchronicity is just insane. Like they were like jumping at the exact same times too. It was just like, that's hard to get everyone on the same page.
It's hard to get everybody on the same page.
I mean, you guys would know this if you try to take a picture. Like everyone, jump.
Yeah.
Like, no. Okay. 1, 2. God damn it.
Right.
Yeah.
Focus. Like no. You can't just do that.
Yeah. And they did it like at the end of the song. They were all just like so in tune with each other. Like they could have played anything.
I love the 70s so much.
Yeah,
many good bands. So much that great kind of like eccentricity going on, and like synchronicity going on.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, when you get like that's the beauty of that time is like you get like so many people that are talented musicians, know what the fuck they're doing, and just love to jam. So because they're coming off of jazz, they're coming off of you
all
actually
the
have to be trained to play music, so yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot more of that starting, like cropping back up, but
well, that's the thing though. Now it's cropping back up. We definitely lost that for a little bit.
Well, yeah. Well,
not to say there hasn't been good music released.
Yeah, I think
I'm not saying that.
Well, because like I got sick of like guitar solos to an extent because like it was just there was that period in the 80s where it just got to be too show off.
Sometimes when you get everyone is so technical, so precise, it's just you want the opposite, like a breath of fresh air. You want something different. Like I just want to like not think. I just want to like pop my head for a minute or two and just relax.
Yeah. Which is why
I don't want an 18-minute jam song right now. I just want a couple good fast tunes and be done with it.
That's why like alternative and shit happened. They needed to clean slate basically,
or the Ramones.
That does need to happen.
But speaking of clean slate, will Will Smith ever get one?
Yes. Here we go.
This is this next track is a real classic. Honestly, it's almost too big for this list to be honest, but I wanted to include at least one rap tune. This is DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, A Nightmare on My Street.
Nothing real fancy about this homeboy named Fred and this girl named Nancy. But word, when it was over, I said, yo, that was death. And everything seemed all right when we left. But when I got home and laid down to sleep, that began the nightmare on my street.
Now we need to bring up that there was twice before the video and after the video that this has nothing to do with the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes, so
just a coincidence.
This song and the conversation that we're having about this song has no affiliation with the movie Nightmare on Elm Street. It's very important that that be known.
It was important to them, so it's important to us.
I think it's just hilarious that's at the end of the video too. It's just
I know, right?
It's like
all right, guys, remember this had nothing to do.
Yeah, they probably brought it to them with just the thing at the front. They're like, no, we're not doing it unless it's on both. It's like, what? No. It's like, fine. Okay, here we go.
We're not getting sued for this. That's what Will Smith said.
There's probably an argument to just have like that disclaimer like in the corner of the video the entire time just to remind everyone.
Yeah, just flashing the whole time. But yeah, this is a fun video. It's got a really high production. A lot of stuff going on fire in that video. A lot of stuff being destroyed and shit. And it's just your classic fucking like I don't know. This is like the style of rap that is absolutely the silliest to me. But I know it was the big thing at the time. I've just never been able to see it as anything but like, this is all about the time that I blah, 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 blah. You know, like, it's just, it's like.
I think this is the true reason he had to move it to Bel Air.
Yeah, it's true. All the other rap guys were like, yo, this is whack. Like, you can't keep doing this.
The best part, they weren't blades. If I remember correctly, the tips of the fingers looked like phono cartridges, like record needles.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really, really cool touch.
Yes, that was the best part, hands down.
Yeah. And he's got the eraser
fingers
head
down.
thing. And it's all so obviously about the Nightmare on Elm Street, which is funny.
Wait, how can you tell?
Well, I mean, allegedly about the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Just rumors.
But yeah, essentially the song is like consists of like, if I were to tell the story in a sentence, Will Smith sees a Nightmare on Elm Street and gets nightmares.
Yes.
That's pretty much the entire story.
He gets attacked in his dreams.
It's a fun novelty track, but it's also like one that like I was definitely one of the kids that like rolled my eyes a lot when I heard a Will Smith track. What was it like for you though, hearing like when this track came out? Like, what was your experience with Will Smith and his rise?
So I remember the one I heard all the time was parents. Sometimes parents just don't understand.
Yeah,
and the video for that was just like this, but I felt like cheaper if it was possible.
Yeah.
But it was wild. Hearing like songs on the radio, and then a few years later, like the show came out. I'm like, all right, so now you have a show.
Yeah, right.
And then
that must have been weird, right?
Turning that into like movies, and
like, oh, you're a movie star now,
and then a singer because then he would sing like a song for each movie that came out.
Yeah.
And then
of course,
like late '90s, I was passed on with them.
Yeah. It almost feels like the millennium was actually pre 2000.
It was because I think like not his last. I can't remember. There's one that came out like in 97, 98. So like late 90s when they started, the albums really started pumping out the door.
Yeah, I remember for some reason, I think my dad had a copy of that album. I don't know why, but the copy of that album was in my dad's car, and like we were listening to that album. It's like very strange. He must have been doing research or something for a patient, if I were to guess. But
there's some kid just chucked it in his car, like, ha.
Yeah. He's not. Or maybe they're just.
I don't know. Maybe they were being handed out at the time. Everyone just got a free Will Smith CD when he bought something, probably.
That's possible too. Actually, that's actually
probable. Maybe Men in Black, and you got a free CD.
Yeah, that was a good track too.
Here comes Man in Black, Man in Black.
But yeah, I got like I also got some Nicki Minaj vibes from this a little bit. I was like, wait a minute, did Nicki Minaj steal some of her flow from?
Well, listen, like
Will Smith.
I'm sure she listened to Will.
Well, for sure, but like it's not where I expected. But like the flow of him telling this story does remind me of like some of the theatrical ways that she delivers her vocals. I was like,
that's a possibility. Yeah. I mean, that's a strong possibility.
Yeah. I don't know a whole lot of her discography.
That's when they were growing up, So that's definitely like where they could have gotten some of their inspiration from.
I could see her doing good rendition of this, Yeah, she'd kill it. It'd be theatrical and over the top,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So actually, you know what? Let us actually take a quick break. We got 5 more tracks for you guys. I'm just sweating and I need to get out of this room for a second. We'll be right back with the Album Concept Hour. Welcome back to the Album Concept Hour.
Is that Lurch over there?
Yeah. No, it's not. Hold on. I gotta take this by. Who the fuck was that? That was weird. Well, welcome back to the Album Concept Hour. This is the last 5 tracks of this Halloween list. We don't do the top 5 in any particular order, by the way. If anyone's wondering about that, we just throw 15 together.
So throw them at the wall.
So we might have already gone through the number 1 or whatever, but this one is a contender, I think. This next track is, I think, a contender for maybe my favorite on the list. I don't know. This one's fun. This one's I really enjoy this one. This was so the acronym for the group is NAHPI, and the song is "Do They Know It's Halloween?" And this is a song.
Do they know it's Halloween at all?
Exactly. It's inspired by the very famous "Do They Know It's Christmas?" This one also has all proceeds going to UNICEF. So
very nice.
Here is "Do They Know It's Halloween?"
It's not funny anymore. Come on out.
Had to get David Cross in there.
Yes.
But so this is much like its predecessor, Do They Know It's Christmas? This has a mega list of musicians brought together to make this happen. And I'm literally just going to run down the list because it's a long list, and everyone's gonna get like some of these, So contributors: Win Butler and Regine Chasang from Arcade Fire.
My God.
We have Beck. We have Buck 65, David Cross, Leon Balaban of Desert, Devendra Banhart. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Of course. Can't do this without Elvira. Feist, Gino Washington, Sid Butler of Les Savy Fav, Jamie Tambur of Islands, Malcolm McLaren, Nardwar, the Human Serviette, Peaches, Dental, Jenny Lewis and Blake Sentoff of Rilo Kiley, Rocky Erickson, Chris Murphy of Sloan, Asia and Chloe of Chaos, Stephen Merritt of Magnetic Fields, Thurston Moore of Sonic Youth, Russell Mail of Sparks, Subtitle, Steve Jossie of Sum 41, Tanya Tygak, Anna Waronker of That Dog, Dan Bachner and Spencer Krug of Wolf Parade, and Karen O of Yeah Yeahs. And Adam Goldner, Nick Diamond, Steve McDonald, and Joey Wanaker brought together as the band. So, yeah, a lot of people involved.
A few folks.
Yeah. A couple of who's of the day. You can hear a few of them, like in, while you listen to the track, you can definitely pick out some of them, like, of course, David Cross. I think he sings a little bit. I believe he's saying a note in this, besides just the talking. But yeah, the music video is a fun little throwback to the early 2000s internet days. It was like kind of flash animation-y and really, really silly stuff. It's hard to explain early 2000s flash animation to those that haven't seen it.
I mean, the graphics were simple. Even the ghosts remind me of something you'd seen like in Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had like it's just a very simple classic.
Yeah, it looks like
it reminded me of like some of the stuff they did for like early Looney Tunes and stuff like that, or like some of the stuff like Mickey Mouse, like from the 40s. You know, like they would do like
old cartoons.
Yeah.
Like Cuphead, the video.
Well, yeah, there was a few like old cartoon things walking around in one section of the song. And I'm not sure what the message of the music video was, but
it's Halloween.
Yeah, it's Halloween, and people need to know about it. And because like it starts with like this dictator guy or whatever, and then there's like aliens that like don't want the rest of the world to know about Halloween.
I mean, they're just playing Pac-Man, right?
Yeah. Well, it looked like they were playing Pac-Man, but it kind of looked like a foosball table.
They did,
right?
Yeah, it was weird. But yeah, the chorus though is really fun. It gets stuck in my head. I really enjoyed this track, and I don't know why it's not on more lists of things. But I mean, it's better than I think. Do They Know It's Christmas? Personally, I mean, I don't know.
For sure. Well,
it's my preferred.
There's a lot of issues with Do They Know It's Christmas?
Yeah,
but that's beyond the point. We'll cover that when we do that.
When we do the Christmas novelty 15.
Christmas novelty.
Yeah.
15, yes.
We'll have to do that at some point.
We'll have to do that. Yeah.
Maybe we'll get Brack or something. Brack. I mean, if we're gonna do another novelty thing, we should probably just have Brack on.
The master.
We'll have him pick
the
the whole 15. But the next track we got for you guys is by a group by the name of Redbone, which
yes,
y'all might have heard a little bit of. One of their songs by the name of "Come and Get Your Love" from some Guardians of the Galaxy films. But this is another one of their hits, "The Witch Queen of New Orleans."
She'll put a spell on you. She'll put a spell on you. She's the witch queen of New Orleans. Of New Orleans.
That's such a great track.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Just have to make a quick note that and I'll bring it up too in my when we do the plugs and stuff. But watch Reservation Dogs, guys. Like that's how I found out that this was an all Native American like group.
Oh yeah, you said they actually talk about it in a scene. Yeah,
there's there's a whole thing about it. Like, and at the end of the episode, they even play a part of like the song, from the Guardians, like.
Oh, Come and Get Your Love.
Come and Get Your Love. They like play the part where they're just like sitting there, like like rapping out. It's great.
Nice.
So they play the song and then.
And of course the connection with Taika Waititi too. Yeah. So he's got a connection to.
There is no reason he should be producing that show, but he does a great job with it.
Oh, I mean that awesome. when he got that show, he was like riding high on Thor: Love and Thunder, or no, the one before that, Ragnarok.
He was riding high on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah, he was having a fun
This
time.
is a great track.
Again, going to
they'll put a spell on you. In there, like just trying to get with it as well.
Yeah. It's like we have Screaming Jay Hawkins over here trying to put a spell on you, and then the Witch Queen of New Orleans is like, no, I'm putting a spell on you. Like we're actually, they're trading their voodoo magic,
right?
But this one's actually based on a real person, by the name of Mary Laveau, which you can hear him in the background saying the voodoo vo, referencing her. But apparently a real practicing witch queen or witch doctor or something.
Hey, listen, if you're going to do a song about New Orleans, like
Yeah,
those people exist, like especially in the past,
yeah.
They were doing that stuff in New Orleans all the time.
This one is based on a practicing person, so it's like this is probably of the like voodoo songs maybe the most legit because it's about an actual person they're referencing.
Well, no, I read the Percy Jackson books.
The voodoo and Percy Jackson.
Well, yeah, like Percy Jackson and the Greek gods books. And one of the characters, Nico, he was from New Orleans originally. Like his mom was one of these voodoo queens, and like she had him because she invoked the spirit of Hades, the Roman version of Hades, actually. But and like that was how that was how he became to be, And
okay. Interesting. All right. So there's a history of this witch queens in
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
So
New Orleans is a rich, deep history of lots of voodoo and lots of magic.
Yeah, I should. I've never actually been to New Orleans. I'd really love to.
It's a fun place. My sister lived down there for a while. It's a fun place to be.
Yeah, it's like definitely some place I have to go at some point as a music lover.
It's a very fun place. The music is great.
Oh. Yeah. Like I've been to Nashville. I've seen live music in Nashville.
Like all the live music, like whether it's a cover band or an original band. It's all wonderful.
Well, shit, the people on the street are better than most of the people you see live around here. So
absolutely.
Yeah. One of these days, I'll make my way down.
One of these
witch queens of New Orleans. But yeah, the next track we got for you is actually the next two tracks are Dave's picks in particular. These are next one is Ramones' Pet Cemetery from 1989.
I don't wanna be buried in a pet cemetery. Addicted to the sacred place. This ain't a dream, I can't escape. Molars and fangs that are picking up.
Weren't you saying that Stephen King approached them to do this for his movie?
Yeah. There, this was around when Pet Sematary was coming out, and Stephen King's like, I guess he's like, I like you guys. Would you like to make a song for my movie? And this was in the credits, I guess. But
very cool.
Yeah, it became one of their hits live. I guess it was became a fan favorite.
Solid track. It feels like Ramones, but also a little not higher in G, but it's one of those. It's just a great bop. You just easy, just groove to it. And it's like
I don't know the Ramones too well, so I feel like if I heard this on a playlist outside of Ramones' other songs, I wouldn't recognize it as Ramones.
Right?
He does have that voice. It's pretty.
Joey has a very distinct
voice, but the background of it is so different than what I'm used to with these guys. Because it's like a slow, like you said, it's like something you can really relax to.
Mm-hmm.
But and then the music video is fun. There's they're walking around the cemetery and their Ramones get-ups.
I mean, just the leather jackets.
Yeah, jeans. I'll never get over those outfits, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's the guy with the sunglasses or whatever with the hair that's just cut around the sunglasses. Yeah. They all look extremely silly. I would like if any of them walked up to me in real life and I didn't know who they were, I wouldn't take them seriously. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be mean. They just they're just so I don't know. Sorry, Ramones fans. I don't mean to talk shit, but they're just so weird. These guys.
Oh, Joey was definitely just a goofy motherfucker, but just goddamn, it's a band I love through and through.
Right.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that they just kept that exact style going throughout the entire career.
It is, and there are a lot of bands who took that torch and be like a Ramones core band. You see pictures they just leather jackets, jeans, trucks, like tons and tons of Ramon core bands. They just kept that same kind of structure and guitar.
Yeah.
American and British capitalism, all about like keeping that rolling, you know, keeping that feeling rolling.
Yeah. And it rolled all the way to. Well, no, actually, this came before this. This next track came before the previous track. This isn't a good transition. But this next track is Dead Kennedys, Halloween. And I've heard this song plenty of times. Didn't know it was a Halloween track, but
I didn't know it was a Dead Kennedys track.
Oh, dude, here it is.
Just so fucking catchy.
Oh yeah. I always forget about Dead Kennedys and how much I love them, and then like a track of theirs comes on, and I'm like, oh, this is great. I love this.
I mean, the chorus is great. As Joe screaming like the better plan all week, plan a month. You better plan all.
You better plan all year. Yeah, and this is a great, like, honestly, a great track to kind of be like winding down this list with, because it's like almost like a reversal on a lot of Halloween songs.
Kind of, because it's like making the joke of the person that can, like, the one day of the year I'm gonna like cut loose, I'm gonna get crazy, I'm gonna dress up, I'm gonna get drunk, and we're gonna But the other 365 or 364 days, you're just like. Yeah, straight laced, go into this office, do your thing, be boring, but like at one time, I can get crazy.
Exactly.
Remember when I did that one time on Halloween?
It's a real great, like, it kind of puts it in this framework of a tragic story of, like, you know, working man, and like how, like, really you're putting your mask on the other 364 days of the year. And the one day of the year is actually when you take the mask off.
This is me now.
And it's like, it's a total reversal of like what Halloween's supposed to be about, you know? And I really, really appreciate that, because like it is one of those things where it's like, yeah, why can't we just, you know, let loose and you know, do weird parties like this other times of the year, you know? I love that. It's just a very, like, it's what I love about Dead Kennedys is they're like, their punk rock approach is so, I don't know, wholesome, or not wholesome. Wholesome's not the right word, but it's like, it's definitely like they have such a take on something.
It's almost like a take on like the perfect nuclear family. They point out like every flaw and like the structure of the entire like country and government and everything. Everyone thinks this is life. Like, no. This is the fucked up life.
Which is like the most punk rock part about them, you know, like, because they're not like, you know, there's not a lot of punk bands that sound quite like them. They have their own real niche,
own sound, own voice.
Yeah.
Man, just like Winnebago Warrior, just another just great song about just goofy people spending like the entire like year just driving around their RVs. Like, this is great, this is life. Like, no.
While they're like taking it apart, you know, a little bit. Yeah. I love. There's definitely a band that like they reward you for reading the lyrics, because some punk bands, like, you know, the lyrics are not necessarily as important.
No.
You know, but these guys, like, they're, you know, they have a story they're telling, you know.
Very thought out. Very much like everything from like Jackarama to Holiday in Cambodia, like just fun, weird tracks. You just think a little bit, like you just there's a lot to digest in those lyrics.
Man, I need to listen to a full track or full album of Dead Kennedys. I don't think I have listened to a start to finish album. I've just heard just them in a playlist of other punk songs.
Great
sprinkled in
stuff.
Yeah. And I'm always, every time they come up, I'm like, hey, I love that guy voice. He's got a good voice.
Very distinctive voice.
Very distinct voice. Yeah. No one can copy that.
Sound like Jello.
Yeah. But yeah, we got one more track for you guys. And to close things out for our top 15 Halloween novelty songs of all time, we have the last track of Hot Blood's album, Soul Dracula. This is Terror on the Dance Floor.
I wish there was a dance floor in here right now.
Just lights going all over the place.
Like where's the cocaine? You know, like the wah, you know, and like we need
Mr.
the blinking lights already. and all that stuff. You know.
Yeah. This is tracks after Sex Me. They've relaxed a little bit, but this track is just it's so fun and just groovy and like this one is probably the one that reminded me the most of like Guardians of the Galaxy-esque tracks, you know. I think the whole album of Hot Blood's Soul Dracula is very Guardians of the Galaxy-esque, but this one is just such a jam, and like it's kind of like the song Sex Me. It's like 6 minutes long, just a really long fun jam. Kind of reminiscent of like a Herbie Hancock and his disco phase.
Yes.
Yeah. Really, really fun.
This one just really sounds like a lot of the disco tracks of the time, but like still got that little like darkness that emphasizes the
minor chords and stuff,
the Halloween aspect.
You
know, like the Dracula part.
Again, I don't understand why this isn't bigger in just any Halloween music talking, you know what I mean? It's just I don't know, like, and I've never heard this on a Halloween playlist, and like people play a Halloween playlist every year. You know what I mean?
I've played like Halloween like radio, and I've never heard like any of these songs.
Yeah,
like hardly any of these songs.
That's what I'm saying. Like we need to inject crazy. some new
blood into
new old Halloween blood stuff. Yeah, exactly. Because like I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of sick of the main 10 or 15 that generally we hear.
Well, for a long time when it was Halloween, I always would just play a bunch of Misfits and be happy about that.
That's true. You can never go wrong with Misfits,
right?
Yeah. Because that's part of the reason we didn't involve any of the Misfits, just because like their whole discography is pretty much novelty Halloween.
And we did one of their
music,
albums already.
Yeah, we did a full album, so
they got their dues.
But yeah, I wish that there was more of Hot Blood, though. I really do wish that this wasn't the only piece of
7 or 8 tracks represented.
Yeah. And they're giving it their all. Like they're like they're giving so much more than they need to. You know what I mean? Like it's just
they understood the assignment and the extra credit for this assignment.
Yeah. And in France apparently. So
going wild
over there in the 70s. No one knew. So that was our top 15 novelty songs / Hot Blood Soul Dracula breakdown.
That's our version of it.
That's our version of the list. Yes. Send us your favorite novelty or niche Halloween songs. I'd love to hear ones that maybe we missed. We'll go to the last little bit of the podcast where we go around and find out what everyone's been listening to and what they have to plug. Why don't we start with Dave over there, and then we'll go over to John and me.
All right, the last kind of albums this last week have been actually Ramones, End of the Century.
Okay.
The J Dilla Donuts.
Nice, that's a good one.
Tribe Called Quest, Midnight Marauders.
Very nice.
And then White Lies 5v2.
Okay,
that's been on my playlist.
Nice.
Very nice.
Those sound like bangers. Right then, John. What about you? What have you been jamming on?
Oh, I've been jamming on some Boston. Listening to that whole album the other day at Wings.
Yep.
Listening to a lot of Carole King. God, it's just a lot of folk, but like really a lot of Carole King in general.
Yeah.
Love those albums like Carole King, Tapestry, and Boston, obviously.
Yeah.
Just bangers,
start to finish.
And otherwise, please watch Reservation Dogs.
We beg of
you. Just a great show. And it's so sad that it's ending after 3 seasons. Probably just ending on like Dave said, like brought it up, like just ending on a high note, especially for Takei. He's the producer. Taike. I'm sorry. Taike.
No.
You're right, and I should be pronouncing it correctly. But like either way, like just it's excellent programming, and especially for Native American portrayals, it's really great.
Yeah,
and very funny show in general. But yeah.
I just watch a lot of Marvel commentary videos, so I've heard people pronounce it a million times.
Right.
So that's what you've been listening to. Your plug-in. For me, I'm taking my time this week to shout out the Mommy Heads. I haven't heard the album yet. I just got it in the mail today. But Adam Elk
he's going to listen to it.
A mug for Mommy Head's Coney Island Kid, their newest album. Check out their newest stuff. They're constantly, they put out a lot for a band. It's been around 35 years now, I think they said. They're celebrating a long, fun career. And they're Adam Elk's a friend of the show, good guy, and
great guest.
He's a great guest. Can't wait to have him back on to teach us more about some new wave music. Thanks Adam for sending this. I really appreciate it, and I will pop that in the second that I wake up in the morning. I'll wake up to Coney Island Kid, and check out the YouTube. Flyover State Park, or youtube.com/Flyover State Park. Always got stuff coming out, and it takes a long time to edit those, so watch them, please.
Subscribe and like.
Also subscribe and like and all that. Yeah. Thanks for everyone for listening to this episode of the Album Concept Hour. We'll see you guys next time for another album. The Album Concept Hour is Brad LeBaron, Dave Gallagher, and John Aker. Special thanks to King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for the theme music. Join the discussion on our Discord, tweet to us at Album Concept Pod, or for everything else, go to Linktree/Flyover State Park. See you on Side B. This is Flyover State Park. You are clear to land.